Welcome to the Pulse with Peter B. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano. Let's get you to the pulse on everything you need to know. And today we are beginning with our small business spotlights. And she does many other things as well. And we're so happy to be joined by the CEO. I don't know if we've ever had a CEO on the show. I pretend to be the CEO on my show, but, they make fun of me for this all the time. But the CEO of the Union City Music and Dance Academy, among many different endeavors, which we'll get to, and that's Madai Martinez. Madai, how are you today?
Wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Exactly. A little
Happy
chilly.
to be here. Yeah, can't complain.
Yeah, we were talking about that. We're right by the water here. But what a
Great.
view.
What a view. Yeah.
Right? Can't complain?
Cannot complain.
That's what
absolutely.
I like to hear. All right, so we'll talk about your main endeavor, and that is your Music and Dance Academy, located right up the hill up in Union City. How many years have you been at it? And the number of students that you currently have, and what type of courses you offer, and so on and so forth.
Great. Yeah, absolutely. So UCMD is a creative home for all ages, adults, kids, anybody that has any creative inkling is always welcome at UCMD. We've been at our current location now going on 6 years, which is incredible. You were kind of a thought, founding member of that whole idea being coming to fruition. But yeah, we're very, very, very fortunate to still kind of be here, especially after COVID. And yeah, excited to kind of break ground again and restart.
So it's funny you say that because I usually don't get any credit on this show, but I'm glad that Madai, I've known Madai now, we were talking probably for about 10 years.
Yeah.
And you were in the corporate world. I mean, similar to what I do in my day job, which people say I shouldn't quit, Madai. But anyway.
Different stories here.
Exactly. You were in the corporate world. I remember the two of us were sitting down having dinner one night, and you were basically like, look, I'm tired of this. I want to be my own strong Latina woman. And I say that because I have been to Madai School, and I have gone to speak to a lot of her students, and they are mainly of the Latina demographic. I would say 99% or so. I mean, and they could look at Madai as a role model, and that's exactly what you wanted to do, correct?
Yeah, it was really important, and with everybody that we kind of employ, I don't even like using the word employ because it's really an invitation to a huge family. And it's really important for these kids in this community to kind of see a reflection of these instructors, of these role models and mentors in people that they see in their own families. And I think, that the level of respect and appreciation that kind of breeds is really important and goes such a long way.
No, that's great. And as we begin Hispanic Heritage Month, of course,
Yes.
you were the perfect guest. I mean, it was a late text on a weeknight, but she's here, and we're grateful to have you here. Now, Madai, I go over to your school. I want to learn how to salsa dance. I can do that.
You could. Well, I don't know if you specifically could do that. I'm kidding.
Good one. She has seen my moves.
No, yes, absolutely. And, the specific types of salsa and different types of dances that we're doing are really culture-based. So, with the flamenco, the coming from Spain, the Cuban salsa specifically paying homage to our heritage, which is, since it's a family business, we are all Cuban. So you get that cafecito in, and then you get to the dance floor, and it's magical.
It is magical. But you also teach instruments, because piano, guitar. I'm just curious, do you see that level of interest in students learning instruments still?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we were just having this conversation. We just opened up again after COVID this week. So
Wow.
Here we are, week one. And everybody and all the parents that are returning are really in that interest of the next level with their kids in music and dance. And a lot of it comes from, I don't want them to be at home on the iPad, and now that remote learning is a thing. But a lot of them are coming from a place of passion, and I think parents are starting to see how much music and dance really changes the DNA of a student and their growth and development, how it supports that. So coming from that place of understanding and having that knowledge of how good this can be for them, they come in way more receptive and happy to
Wow.
be there.
And you were closed for 6 months because of the COVID-19
We were
pandemic.
closed for 6 months, yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm sure you're happy. I'm sure your students are happy to get back into class. I'm sure they have to wear masks and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to follow. Let's kill this virus,
Absolutely.
correct? And let's follow the CDC guidelines until we do. Now, you are involved in so many other endeavors that I don't even know where you have the time for your husband. God bless you, John. You are a graduate of Parsons, which is, of course, a fine institution right across the river here.
That's right.
In creative advertising, or I forgot what your degree was in specifically, but you are, following suit with what you got your degree in, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So at Parsons, I studied architecture and interior design.
I was way off, but
Way
that's
off.
okay.
Not way off, because of what I'm doing now. So you're on
that's
par
why I'm
there.
a little confused. Right, go ahead.
So, but we studied spatial design, and my whole life, being an immigrant and coming to terms with my creative side, my parents didn't really have the funds to really explore that creative side in me when I was really young, and that's kind of why UCMD and the studio was always at the forefront of whatever I do with my career. At some point, I don't know when or why or how, we're gonna have a studio, and there's gonna be some sort of creative community that will be there for kids that were growing up just like me. So I went to Parsons, studied architecture and interior design. Was not vibing with the residential design, all of that. Then yes, I worked corporate, and again, was not the environment for me. But I kept putting myself in positions that I felt that I needed to express that creativity, and then it kind of all came full circle where entrepreneurship found me at the same time with the studio. When I opened, I didn't even consider myself an entrepreneur. But now I fully put stake in that because that is what it is. And apart from the creative process of dance and music and art and theater and all the things we're combining at the studio, we're also teaching kids how an idea goes from nothing to a full production, to a full project, to a full career, right? And that's kind of why I'm so passionate about that. But yeah, on the side, I'm still doing my design, and I'm still being an entrepreneur on a solopreneur on a different end of the spectrum, and bringing back that design.
A solopreneur. I like
solopreneur.
that a lot. I like that. All right. Where can people find more information? I guess we'll start with the Union City Music and Dance Academy. I'm sure you're on social media and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. UnionCityMusicDance.com on our website. Everything is there, and the beauty that COVID gave us in a way is everything is online now, so super accessible. And UC Music Dance is our handle on Instagram and Facebook.
Very good. And then for your other endeavors, such as the creative and advertising?
Yes. So MadaiMartinez.com. You can check out all my portfolio, all the work I've done with corporate, with other companies, freelancing. I've always been in the creative branding space, so mixing those creative juices all over the place. Like I said, MadaiMartinez.com. And you can find me on Instagram at This Is Madai.
This is Madai. And it's
Madai.
Madai, okay?
Madai.
Not like Greg, our cinematographer and editor, totally messed up her name before the shoot. And even though I told him 16 times how to say it. Now, Madai, let me ask you a question. We have a few seconds here. Can we, and I'm putting you on the spot right on air here.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Can we bring the cameras up to the Union City Music and Dance Academy and yours truly try salsa dancing with you?
I would pay money for that.
Wow, look at that. Okay.
Absolutely.
So the invite's always open.
The invite is always open.
All
Welcome,
right.
Pete.
I'm going to get my dancing
The challenge
shoes
is
on,
accepted.
and I'm going to dress up like those guys on Dancing with the Stars.
You got to get the
show a little
ruffles.
chest. What do you think, huh? I think that'll spike the numbers up for the ratings, but we'll see. But listen,
We'll have a matching mask for you, so that'll be great.
I love that. Well, but I am so proud to hear where you've come from the time we were sitting in that restaurant talking about it. And I'm glad that you can share your experiences on the Pulse here, and we will see you at your school. I mean, I'm going to mark it down in my calendar. So
Stay
thank you
tuned.
for joining us. Absolutely. Look at that.
Thank you, guys.
She's even taking over for the commercials here. I'm like incredible. Madai Martinez, Union City Music and Dance Academy CEO, among many different endeavors that she's doing. Visit her on her social media handles. Folks, when we come back, we're going to have Mr. Matt Waymeyer on, our sports insider. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be back. Peter Biancamano, your hostess with the mostest of the Pulse with Peter B. Folks, don't forget to visit our Facebook page at the Pulse with Peter B, and make sure you like and follow us on there. We're constantly updating that page with new information, and also on Instagram. For all you grammars out there, make sure you follow us there as well. We're constantly putting these really cool stories, previewing all of our episodes. And if you don't want to DM us through our Instagram or message us through our Facebook, you can always email us. And that's at thepulsewithpeterb@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you. Welcome back to The Pulse with Peter B. And, of course, this is a segment that I'm always excited for because we have our sports guru on, and that is Mr. Matt Waymeyer. Matt, missed you, buddy. How are you?
I missed you.
And I have to tell you, I'm in a sweater, jeans. This guy's wearing a
well,
polo and shorts.
I
man.
said against my better judgment, I'm going to film this segment without a coat, and I'm kind of regretting it, but I'm going to try to tough it out for the next 8 minutes and 45 seconds.
I was going to say, not that he's looking at the clock or anything.
No, not at all.
And Matt, like 2 weeks ago, you could have wore this outfit, and
Right.
we would have been sweating over
Absolutely.
here. I mean, the
Times
changing
have
seasons,
changed.
exactly, the Northeast, baby.
Quickly.
I mean, anyway, and you know, with the colder weather or this chilly weather coming,
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider this cold by any means. You think hockey,
You do think hockey.
right?
I
You
mean,
think ice.
we think hockey
Oh, I
when it's
think
100,
I was
to be
going
fair.
say.
But I get where you're going.
Exactly. We have reached the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yes.
And it is the Dallas Stars going against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and you called it, Matt, even though that horrible prediction you made about the New York Rangers earlier this
Trying to
season.
whitewash that, but yes, it's on my permanent record.
Exactly, but you did say that Tampa was going to go to the finals
Yep.
and probably win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Are you still feeling that way?
I am.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, nothing against the Stars. They've had a great run. They're an excellent team. Highly competitive Western Conference they came out of. You could have looked at any team of that conference and said, I could see the Blues going back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
I could see Vegas making a second final in 3 years. I could see the Avalanche, the upstart Avalanche, and none of them made it. They all fell by the wayside, and we've got the Dallas Stars, which I think is their first final appearance since 2000 when they won. They beat the Buffalo Sabres on the controversial skate in the crease goal
was that
by
Jason Arnott, I believe?
Brett Hull.
Brett Hull.
Brett Hull,
Excuse me. Yeah.
At the tail end of his career. I think it's their only appearance in a final and their only cup, obviously. So they're trying to make it 2 cups in their history. But I'm not going to back off my prediction that the Lightning are just head and shoulders above everybody else, and I think that they're gonna raise the cup. I still do.
Wow, interesting. And by the way, the Stars were actually won in 1999. They lost to the Devils in 2000, so this is their third.
Really? Okay.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, I just had to get there.
No, that's it.
Yeah,
we're all about being factual.
The Brett Hull thing, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, Tampa's in the same boat, though. They won under John Tortorella. I forgot what year that was. See, my
I think 04?
I think it was 04,
Yeah.
correct? And they lost a few years ago in the finals. So this is both their third appearance and really now, I mean, Tampa has been so underachieving the last few years. I mean, but it looks like they're coming into their own.
You know what their thing was? They had a hard time closing out series when the stakes were highest. I think that's what Islanders fans were kind of banking on when Tampa took that 3-1 series lead. The Isles got the double overtime win in Game 5, and I think Lightning fans are saying, here we go again. This is a team that's always on the precipice of doing something great. They can never seal the deal. And I think if they had lost Game 6, that would have made for a fascinating Game 7.
We would have been talking about that today, right? I mean,
yes,
goodness.
no question. And I think Isles fans are going to see this replayed in their heads over and over. Brock Nelson had that breakaway in overtime, one-on-one with Vasilevsky, couldn't put it home.
Oof.
And I think that was the Isles' best chance right there to force a Game 7. Tampa got the game-winning goal, the series-winning goal, and they're on to the finals. But I think if they had let that one slip through their fingers, what a Game 7 that would have been.
And kudos to the Islanders, by the way. They
Oh,
had a
man.
heck of a postseason.
They did.
And,
They did.
And nobody expected them to go that far.
No.
And they put their heart and soul out there.
Yeah.
All right. Of course, another sport started last weekend, and that is the National Football League. I'm sure you heard of it, correct?
Vaguely.
The NFL, right? I mean,
I've
it's been
Googled it.
around a
It's-
few years.
yeah.
You Googled it? Is
Yeah,
that it?
do some research.
Exactly.
Seems interesting.
And I have to tell you, Matt, one of the things in the overall level of play that I was impressed with was these guys they had training camp, but they didn't have a preseason.
Right.
And the level of play was probably pretty damn good, correct?
I was surprised. And I think even the announcers during the broadcasts, expressed how surprised they were because you expect some sloppiness, some miscommunication, some rust from not having any preseason games. And like you said, training camp is all well and good, but that's not, you can't get up to game speed in a training camp amongst your own teammates. So to see the quality of play in week 1 was, I wouldn't say shocking, but close.
Right.
You expected some mistakes out there, and mistakes were made, but to me it felt like you're watching, week 7 or 8 when teams are really in the proverbial midseason form, and you got that at week 1. It just speaks to the attention to detail and the preparation that teams have employed without the benefit of preseason games, and it was very impressive.
No, it really was. Now, we don't want to waste too much time on them. With the locals, I mean, of course, our 2 local teams, the Giants and the Jets, have started 0-1.
Yep.
Not too surprised with the Giants. Maybe a little surprised with the Jets, but they also played a very good Buffalo Bill team.
Well, they both play good teams,
exactly.
To be fair.
And I think Buffalo's probably going to be the best team in that division now that New England's without Tom Brady, of course. No offense to our new production assistant, Andrew.
Don't count
Belichick out. I know.
Ever count the Patriots out.
Very true. Very, very true.
As long as that guy's coaching the team, you never count him out.
But who do you see with our 2 local teams as having the better season?
Boy.
Back against the wall.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I am going to say, by the slimmest of margins, the Giants, because I liked what I saw from them in week 1 in terms of their effort. And I know that we're not giving out medals here for effort. It's the NFL.
Right.
But let's face it, the Giants have a massive rebuild in front of them, and they put forth a great effort in week 1 against a dominant Steeler defense.
Yeah.
And
totally good.
I think that, the final score, the Giants got a garbage time touchdown.
Right.
It wasn't quite as close as that final score may indicate, but when you're a team in the position the Giants are in, playing a team that good in the Steelers, I liked what I saw. I like what Joe Judge brings to that team, the structure, the discipline, and it's not going to happen overnight, but he's got them on the right track. I can't say the same for the Jets. The Jets looked abysmal against the Bills, who, again, looked terrific this year. They've got a fantastic defense. Josh Allen looks like he's really coming into his own. They've got some weapons on offense, and I think it's gonna be them and the Patriots, neck and neck atop the AFC East this year. But still, the Jets look so disorganized and discombobulated, and that it really gives you concern. On top of that, they've already got some key injuries. Le'Veon Bell's out for a couple of weeks. Jamison Crowder, who had a great game against the Bills, he hurt his hamstrings during practice. He's out for Sunday. So they've already, what is already a very thin talent core on that offense gets even thinner with a lot of their key guys out, and it's going to be an uphill battle for them, I think, all year.
All right. So, okay, give me their records. Giants and Jets at the end of the season. Back against the wall. Let's go, Mr. Matt Waymeyer. Let's go.
I'm going to be conservative here. I think the Jets, I see 3 wins.
Wow.
Yeah.
3-13.
I do.
Okay.
I do. I just, they've lost so much talent. They trade Jamal Adams. They lose C.J. Mosley. I don't see, what team do they out-talent?
Exactly.
I don't see it.
Exactly.
I think they're lucky to win 3, maybe 4. And for the Giants, I'm going to say that through sheer effort and determination and will, they eke out 5 wins.
5 wins. Okay,
Yeah.
5-11. That's better than what most people expect.
Yeah.
Really quickly, since we're both fans of this team, was that offensive pass interference against Michael Gallup last week in the Rams-Cowboy game?
No, but you know what? The way that things are called now, it's by the letter of the law, it was pass interference.
Boom.
But 10 years ago, no. It's not
Exactly.
pass interference, but it's become 2-hand touch now.
Exactly.
We're like, it's
flag football.
It has. I mean, and as soon as they show that replay, I said Gallup's going to get flagged, and he was, and we lost.
And he was.
So,
good acting job, though.
It was a great acting job,
I mean,
and
yeah.
it goes on in every sport. Credit to Jalen Ramsey.
I was going to say.
He acted.
Who,
he got
by the way,
flag.
is one of the best corners in the
He
league.
is.
I mean,
but
yeah.
Gallup burned him.
Exactly.
Gallup had him beat, and that's the way it goes.
Quick prediction on the Cowboys' record at the end of the season. Our Dallas Cowboys, Matt.
God.
Do not disappoint me with this prediction.
I don't want to disappoint you, but I'm only seeing 9 wins.
Oh,
I know.
might be enough to win the NFC East. Though,
It
so
could.
We'll see.
That's the thing.
We'll see.
Who in that division is going to really, except for the Eagles, challenge them? 9-7
I don't know,
might
the
get
Washington
The
football
Washington
team.
football team.
I did not say it.
Yes, don't
Are
say
the
that bad
number one
word.
team in the
The
league
R
right
word.
now. Exactly. Exactly. Well, Mr. Matt Waymeyer, our sports guru, thank you so much for joining us.
Always fun.
And we look forward to seeing you again.
You got it, buddy.
All right. We'll be back. Ashley Rolo will be in studio with another food review. Peter Biancamano back with you. Make sure you watch us on cable access every Sunday and Monday at 9 a.m. Optimum Channel 18, Files Channel 46, and Comcast Channel 190. And also, every Sunday, 9:30 a.m., we post our new episode and our segments, our individual segments, on our YouTube page. You're not going to want to miss it. Please subscribe to our channel there. We'll see you there. Welcome back to the Pulse with Peter B. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano, and we're here in studio with our Places Insider, and that is Ms. Ashley Rollo of @AshleyLaurenRollo on Instagram. Boom, nailed that.
Nailed it.
Nailed it?
Perfect.
All right, love to hear that. And as you know, folks, as you've tuned in before, I always get that wrong. For some reason, just on Ashley's Instagram and not so much.
Only mine.
I know. I don't know what it is.
And it's not even what topic I discuss. I could be doing sports. I could be doing food. Either way, it's wrong. You're always getting it wrong.
Well, today we're so happy to have you back because we are going to be leaving Hudson County again, heading down to the beautiful city of Freehold, New Jersey. And I was just there recently, and it was absolutely stunning. But we're going to be talking about a restaurant that I didn't go to, and that's Federici's, which is located at 14 East Main Street in Freehold, as I mentioned. Big fan, Ashley?
Huge fan. I've gone to Federici's since I was a little kid. I mean, and everything about that place has been the same ever since.
Yeah. And you know what I noticed? Because, of course, I Googled it. I did my little bit of a research before the segment. You know what I'm saying? The title on Google is Federici's Family Restaurant. That kind of like melts my heart. Is it just like, you know, a mom and pop type of shop that has, you know, cousins and nephews and nieces working in there?
Yes. It's definitely family owned and operated. The family actually have, among all of them, they have several restaurants in the area. But I tend to frequently visit Federici's because I absolutely love their pizza. And I just love the vibe when you go there. It's such a chill little spot. You go, you just feel like when you bring your friends, you bring your family, it just feels like home. It feels like something that you would do like when you were a young kid. You know, Friday night, pizza night, you know.
Pizza night, that's fantastic. All right, so, but it is a sit-down restaurant, correct?
Yes, it is a sit-down restaurant.
And during COVID, I'm sure they are struggling like anybody else would struggle because only 25% capacity is allowed indoor for indoor dining. But do they have an outside with tables?
They started doing the outside. Freehold allowed several restaurants to have outdoor dining. But honestly, their food is just as good to go.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's interesting because it's pizza, and they say when pizza hits a box, it's not as good as eating it there. But you're saying no.
It's so good, and it's like the thin crust pizza, and it's just it's amazing. Like honestly, if you're ever in the area, I really recommend going there.
So wait a minute. So the thin crust is is the way pizza's supposed to be.
Yes.
I mean, do you just go for the plain margarita or whatever it is?
Honestly, I go for their plain pizza. My go-to meal there is the plain pizza. It's the salad that they have because they have the little like homemade dressing that they have with it.
It's just like a house salad?
Yeah, just a house salad. And then I get the cannoli for dessert, and I'm a happy camper.
Wow, look at that.
Simple.
Now you
very
know Ashley's
simple.
meal. I mean, yeah, that's like the key to your heart, right?
That is the key to my heart. You know, feed me pizza, and you know we'll be best friends forever.
Look at that. I mean, and she was on in the last episode talking about steak. So like, this is like two opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, but I could eat Federici's every day.
Wow.
I literally could eat their pizza every day.
The
It's that
biggest cheerleader. And it's so funny, folks, because I was the one who mentioned to Ashley that we should cover it. She didn't even bring it up to me. And as soon as, I'll never forget the text back that you gave me. As soon as she did, it was like, yes, Federici's. I mean, it was a text, and I could see like the eyes bolting out of her head through the text. It's amazing. It really is. So let me ask you this now. Do they have appetizers?
They do. They have a lot of different appetizers. Very traditional as far as like what you would think like a mom and pop Italian place would have. They have the fried raviolis. They have, you know, the mozzarella sticks. They have, you know, they can make the bruschetta for you if you want. But it's really, it's not like a large menu as far as appetizers are concerned. But their garlic bread is like good. They have like the staples.
So it's like traditional pizzeria fare.
Yes.
But it's a sit down.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. And I'm sure the takeout portion of their business was very big before COVID, correct?
I would say it was probably like equal takeout as far as people dining in and people getting it taken out, because a lot of people go there, you just kind of like the atmosphere. You like the experience of going down there, sitting down. I mean, they have these older tables, like you'll remember from when you were a kid. It's cash only.
Oh.
So it's kind of a throwback, and it's really, like I said, it's just good vibes.
All right, cash only, folks. That's probably very important to remember. How many people walk in there and they're like, oh crap, gotta go to the ATM. Is that one of the places that has an ATM in the place?
I actually don't know if they have an ATM there.
Let us know, Federici.
I've always known that I've had to bring cash, so I've never had to run into that problem.
So there you go. There you go. Because, you see a lot of cash places that have, an ATM in there, which I always find funny. Okay, so pizza, cannoli. It's so interesting because sometimes when you have, and I want to cover this a little bit here, when you have like a cannoli at a pizzeria, you're like, you don't really know what you're in store for. But you mentioned a cannoli specifically.
Yes.
Why is that?
I'm a cannoli connoisseur, and
Wow.
they make their cannolis, they're fresh and they're homemade. So when you get them, their shells aren't soggy because they're freshly filled, and they make their own filling. And it's not too sweet, but it's not too goopy either. It's the right texture. So I'm a big texture person. It's the right consistency. And, I could easily eat like 3 or 4 of them. Cool. So yeah, so they're delicious.
And obviously now that it's getting a little colder outside, which we can't really feel it here in the studio with the light shining on us, do you recommend do they accept reservations? And if they do, obviously do you
I sometimes call ahead just to see what the wait is like, but it's one of those places where they're so efficient with serving people that you don't even notice. It's very big on the inside. It goes far back, and you don't really have to wait too long. Because, like I said, they're pretty good with swapping out the tables, and it's just very well run.
Oh, there you go. And it's family run.
It is. It's family run, so if you upset your boss, it's usually your family member.
Exactly. Sometimes working with family is a lot more difficult than working with not, but that's a whole different story for a different time.
Yeah, I mean, and the best part about it is they don't just have pizza. They have, the chicken franchise. They have, the veal marsala. They have those traditional dishes.
Did you try any of those? Or?
I mean, I've had them, but their pizza is it's amazing. It's probably my favorite, pizza on Main Street, and it's because there's a lot of pizza places on Main Street, and that one is just like my go-to.
So this is going to sound weird, but obviously Federici's Main Street, that is the Main Street in Freehold. This is where all the businesses are. That's where the nightlife is, correct?
Yeah.
There's not like another Main Street, because this is on East Main Street. It's not on like West Main Street where, where most of the restaurants are. It's right on the Strip.
Yeah, it's right on the Strip, and it's not too far from like Corchester and Metro and all the other places that people go to for drinks and stuff like that.
Which we spoke about before on
yes,
the show.
Yes,
I was going to say that. Ashley spoke about.
Corchester, Metro, those are great places to go. Highly recommend them.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you want a good slice of pizza, I would go to Federici's.
Federici's, look at that. All right, good date night type of spot?
Of course. I mean, if you're not trying to get all dolled up and fancy, wearing all your, dresses and stuff like that, I definitely recommend it. It's such a chill date spot. You can wear jeans and a t-shirt or a hoodie in the wintertime and stuff like that, and just hang out and just
go with it.
Just go with it. Yeah, like
it's
not
kind of a cheap date night spot. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely inexpensive, but the servings are huge. You know what I mean? Like their sides of pasta are like this big.
Get a meal and split it.
Get a meal.
You know who would love that? Our political guy, and that's Josh Sotomayor.
Yeah, Josh
Einstein,
would like that.
because he's all about saving money, as we know. You know
yes,
what I mean?
he's.
We're not calling him cheap, but we're calling him cheap.
He likes to pinch the pennies a little bit.
I love it when Ashley joins in as well. I really, really do.
I have to get my digs in.
You
just
have
a
to.
little bit.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Federici's, 14 East Main Street in the lovely town of Freehold. Ashley, thank you for joining us.
Oh, anytime. I look forward to coming back.
I mean, we want you back.
I like coming back here.
I know you do.
I'm in Hudson County, right? Like right now. Like that's
I mean, wow. You
listen,
can tell
this
that
is
she's
like
been
north of the Edison Bay Bridge. Like that's it. Like
You're in North
I'm
Jersey.
in North Jersey.
You are 100% in North Jersey. Well, thank you. Follow her at Ashley Lauren Rollo. I'm going to keep getting that name right. Hopefully, we'll see. Folks, I'm Peter Biancavano. Thank you for joining us on The Pulse this week. We will see you next week.